I'm going to tell you guys a story from this book called The Christmas Barn. This book really means a lot to me because it's a book that my mom reads to our whole family every Christmas, so I know the stories pretty well, but I'll still be referencing the book. It is about a family that lives in the Appalachian Mountains during the Great Depression, and it starts off with one of the daughters, Ruby, saying she's scared to go outside to get water from the well. "I'm scared." "Scared of what?" I asked, but I already knew the answers. "Panthers." She looked down at the ground, embarrassed. "You don't gotta be scared of panthers. Remember what Papa says. Panthers are more scared of people than people are of them." I turned and started to walk away, but Ruby grabbed the back of my coat. Mama's panther wasn't scared. As much as I hated to admit it, she was right. We'd both heard this story 100 times. Before I was born, my younger siblings, Frank and Frankie, were just babies. My folks lived about 40 miles from Murphy near Tellico Plains, Tennessee. It was Mama and Papa's first house. That November, Papa had butchered a hog. The weather was cold and the meat wouldn't spoil before it could be salted down and stored. Papa decided to take some of the fresh meat to Grandpa and Grandma on the other side of the mountain. He'd have to be gone overnight and leave Mama home alone with the babies. Papa asked Mama if she'd be all right here by herself, without her big, strong man there to protect her. "Course I will, Bass," said Mama. "Now get out of here so I can get back to my work." Mama sent Papa away, and she had to stay home to get ready for the hog. Nothing was left to waste. Even the hog's guts were used to make soap. Soap you used to wash your clothes, your dishes, and yourself, too. Mama put the hog guts on the roof of the cabin to keep the dogs away from them, until it was time to make soap. Then she went inside. A little bit after nightfall, she heard what she thought was a woman screaming. She ran onto the porch to see who it might be. She came face to face with a big panther that might have been at least 7 feet long. She froze in her tracks with the panther looking straight in her eyes. Then the panther let out another scream. That sent Mama into the house with one big leap. She pulled down the board that locked the door and got the gun. It was an old cap and ball rifle that my great-grandpa had used in the Civil War. She loaded it, but it took her a while because her hands were shaking so. She sat on the bed with Frank on one side and Frankie on the other, and they waited. After a few minutes, she heard the panther leap onto the roof. The shack wasn't that sturdy to begin with, and she was afraid that the big cat might fall through and claw itself through all of them and kill them. Mama got up off the bed and listened for the spot on the rooftop where the panther was clawing, raised the gun, and bang! The next day, Papa got back in the late afternoon. Mama was out in the yard boiling hog guts in lye to make soap. Papa ran over, picked Mama up, and gave her a big hug. "Did you miss me, my big helpless woman? Did you get on fine without your big strong man here to protect you?" Mama said, "Put me down. There's no time for that. We've got work to do. I've got to finish making the soap, and you better go get that panther off the roof and fix the hole before it rains." Papa looked at her. "What hole? I don't remember there being a hole up there." "We'll just climb up that ladder and see for yourself." Just when Papa reached the top rung of the ladder, he saw the panther lying there on its belly, and he didn't know it was dead. He let out a yelp and fell off the ladder and hit the ground with a thud. Mama walked over to see where he had landed and looked down at him. "While you're up there, my big strong man, why don't you just drag down that old panther I shot? I'd do it myself, but I'm just a helpless woman." Papa loved that story, and whenever he told it, he'd always say, "I've never worried about leaving that Callie Dockery on her own again. I do pity anything, man or beast, that gets in her way."